Hello, welcome to another video on our channel. Here we translate testimonies of people who went through near-death experiences. Today we are going to know the story of Chester. He says he was thrown out of his body during a motorcycle accident. Then he got lost among strange creatures, but was rescued by a childhood friend who had died. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now. Activate the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Now let's hear Chester's testimony. Well, I want to say that what I experienced during my experience was something that changed my outlook on life. I was always very detached. I didn't pay attention to the signs, nor did I care about spiritual things. Always running to earn money and be able to pay the bills. In the year 2014, I worked in a furniture store that was about 30 kilometers from my house. I remember waking up a little late on a sunny Wednesday. I couldn't eat anything. I put on my clothes, grabbed the helmet and ran off on my motorcycle. I was accelerating the maximum allowed in that part of the city. I looked at a yellow sign and thought there was time. But the worst happened. I was hit by a car. And what happened was surprising. Before my body hit the ground, I was already floating in the air. I could see my fall. I was hovering above the scene when my body was slowly falling to the ground. It was actually fast, but it felt like it was in slow motion. As soon as the body fell to the ground, I was drawn to another part of the city. It was in the center. There were a lot of people walking in the streets, but nobody could see me. As soon as I left the body, I had a feeling of lightness and peace. But there I was feeling a weight and anguish. There were people begging for money on the sidewalks and a lot of people drinking in bars in the middle of the morning. Suddenly I realized that there was a group of people who were noticing my presence there. They were following people drinking in bars and others walking down the street. What seemed to me is that they were, in some way, feeding on the energy of those people. Something came out of the heads of those who couldn't see me and went into the bodies of those who could see me. It was a fluid of energy. When I paid close attention to those people who were sucking passers-by, I noticed that they had deformed faces. They were pretty weird. When they saw that I was watching them and seeing what they were like and what they were doing, they were furious. I could feel their energy being directed at me with horrible thoughts. They wanted to finish me off. The impression I had was that they formed a kind of gang that controlled that part of the city, spiritually speaking. And I had invaded their territory. I turned one of the perpendicular streets to leave the main avenue where those beings were grouped. But my energy was heavy. I couldn't float or walk fast. I saw that two of them were coming after me. I turned right onto another street, but there were two more of them coming from there to surround me. At this moment, I remembered my mother. My mother always had a lot of faith. I saw her pray every day. It was also customary to bless children. I didn't care about these things. I thought it was silly, but at that moment I felt that the only thing that could save me was to say a prayer. I started to say the Our Father prayer. But they kept getting closer. Then I spoke the last words, "But deliver us from evil, Amen." At this point I cried out to God for help. And a young man appeared and placed himself between me and the group that was coming towards me. When I looked at his face, I recognized that it was Jonathan. He was my childhood friend. When he was 20 years old, he passed away in an accident. I said, "Jonathan, is that you?" He said, "Of course, stay calm, they can't do anything." So I calmed down. I think his energy surrounded me with peace. When peace took over me, those beings stopped and just watched. Then Jonathan said, "Walk as if nothing was happening." We started walking towards the group. We walked past them and they didn't do anything, they just stared. My friend explained to me that they feed on fear and other bad feelings. I asked how he was. He replied that he was fine. He said he didn't used to walk around that place, he just showed up to help me. So I wanted to know the place where he was living. He said I couldn't go there. I asked why, since I had died. He then explained to me that I wasn't dead. I still had a long life ahead of me. After a long conversation, he said he needed to get me back to my body. Then we started floating over the city. Until I started to see a movement of sirens. There was a police car and an ambulance. We landed at the place where I had crashed. When we got close to the accident, there was already a group of paramedics helping me. Jonathan said I would need to hold on to the pain when I got back. And he told me to be more prudent and to be less in a hurry, because life is long. I approached the body and entered in the blink of an eye. When I woke up, there was a doctor talking to me. He asked a series of basic questions, like my name, what day it was, how old I was. Well, I really was sore all over. The weight of the body is horrible for those who return from the spiritual plane. I was taken to the hospital and had to stay in the hospital until the next day. But I soon recovered. The idea I had about life changed completely. I started to value things that seem insignificant, like watching the moon, stopping during the day to have 5 minutes of sun. I started to have faith and certainty that there is life outside the material world. And I started avoiding some places. I came back with a certain sensitivity. When I was out of body, I could feel the energetic weight of places. It came back with me. It's not as intense as it was in the experience. But I feel something in the back of my neck and head when I walk in certain places. The first thing I did when I was discharged was to visit my mother. I told her about the experience and thanked her very much. After all, when I was in a tight spot, I remembered her and the example she set for me when I was a child. So, what did you think of this testimony? Leave your impressions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's bring more people to hope that there is life beyond what the eyes can see.